Let me make sure I don't have any sweater nipples in my shoulder. Hey, this is Steven. I just wanted to create some quick content as the date is January the 2nd, 2021. This is the official recorded birth date of my great aunt Inez Dunbavin. And she played a part in raising me. I stayed with her from kindergarten, Head Start, until the 5th grade. And in the last couple months, I have been her caretaker. I received a call that she had suffered a fall and was hospitalized back in St. Thomas. And I'm in North Carolina and was named next of kin by her brother-in-law, who is my grandfather essentially. And he's in his 80s, so as I was receiving updates on her care, I was advised repeatedly that she would need in-home health care. So I decided, with the help of my wife, that I'd book a flight, go down, because she's 90 and was using my grandfather to get around and do manual withdrawals and buying money orders to pay her bills. So the plan was I'd go down for a week and set up her online banking, maybe 2 weeks, set up her in-home health care. She was hospitalized initially on October the 4th. I went down on November the 8th for her discharge on November the 9th. Once I got there, it was pretty apparent that she had not gotten out of bed and would not be able to at all. So thanks to COVID, I was able to work remotely, set up her health care, and provide caregiving services for her, feeding her and what have you. During the time that I was there, her health declined, and I don't think the hospital was transparent with her condition. After about 7 weeks, she passed. And so it was quite an experience. And the relationship that we had was a bit of a challenging situation for myself, because her having raised me meant that I was not raised by my mother. For better or worse, the path that I ended up on was due to her. And I did reconcile with her in those weeks and let her know that I was grateful to her. And it was hard to watch her decline physically and mentally, but I felt like I could not leave her abandoned in that condition, and I was able to plan her homegoing. That's something that she was very particular about, was having a good service. And so I call it a period of extreme adulting, where I was her caregiver and I was able to work remotely also. And I wanted to do right by her. And I did say a few words at the service. I know that people say that as a cliche, but at least she's no longer in pain. As a result of this experience, I think that I have been challenged to live more purposefully. Her life experiences have challenged me to be more open and direct and purposeful about what I want out of life. And I think it'd be a tribute to her. And it has challenged me to work on my relationship with my family members and to be closer to my mother, which we have been during this period of time. I reflected a lot on living in St. Thomas. That was the longest amount of time since college, or since getting out of the military, that I've been there. I've had a bit of a love-hate relationship with the islands, and realizing now that I'm an introvert. A lot of people don't realize I'm from St. Thomas, but getting back immersed in the culture, I really appreciated being there. I had a big code switch moment when I left and joined the military, and it's almost subconscious, but when I'm home, I go right back into my accent. So I was hard into the accent into the food, driving on the left, all of them things. So I really appreciated it. I really love the culture, miss the culture. There are things about the island that I don't like, as far as the hurricanes. The people are friendly to a fault. Noel said the people are polite on foot and they are rude driving. Like, the island is only so big, everyone has a car. People will pass you on these treacherous hills just to get one space in front of you. That was one of the things that really I couldn't get with. When people speak, they're very polite. When they see you, everybody has a greeting. I miss that so much. And coming back to the States, people aren't like that. So I'm gonna try to hold on to that saying, "Told me, part of me." So every time I go back to the islands and come back, I speak to all my co-workers, and it kind of gets worn away because it's a different culture here. But I'm gonna try to hold on to that. This experience really, finishing out 2020, just kind of had me reflect on types of generational trauma that we experience, where you spend a big portion of your life not really knowing why things are the way they are, and you find out and you look back in retrospect and there are shades of gray. That's the other thing that I've learned, where decisions may seem black and white, but there may be shades of gray. And I was fortunate that I could go back and I recorded lots of audio. So there's going to be a longer form of my trip, lots of video and audio, and very personal recordings and images were shot that I probably will not use, only with family. I just had a phone call and there's motorcycle noise in the neighborhood and cars going by, so I'm going to wrap this up. I vow to be more purposeful in all of my actions as a tribute to my Aunt Inez. I recognize the importance of communication between generations where there's generational trauma. But I was fortunate to spend the final few weeks with my Aunt Inez and to let her know that her efforts were not in vain. Why do people ride motorcycles through neighborhoods? Doesn't make any sense. I wanted to let Aunt Inez, or Tanti, know before she passed, and I was able to do that, fortunately. Her efforts were not in vain. And I challenged myself not to keep my light under a bushel. And in that effort, I'm going to promote myself more, because I suck at self-promotion. But if you need a website, check me out at consulting.charlesmedia.com. If you're an alpha, check out my online store. I'm running specials all the time. Shop cmsquared.com. shopcmsquared.com. That's all for now. Have a good 2021. Peace.